This is your weekly report on corruption in the Philippine government. A police officer was arrested after allegedly robbing and shooting a man in Barangay Dionisio, Parañaque on Saturday morning, according to the Parañaque police station. A witness saw the suspect and the victim arguing on the side of the road along C5 extension. He was surprised to hear consecutive gunshots. He saw the suspect wearing a helmet fleeing while the victim was left lying in a pool of blood, said Police Captain Melvin Garcia, chief investigator of the Parañaque police station. The victim, 27-year-old Neil Wong, succumbed to gunshot wounds in the head and body. The suspect, a member of the PNP Aviation Security Group, was apprehended by patrolling officers in the area. Service firearms were recovered in his possession, and he was indeed identified as a member of the police force, a rookie patrolman assigned to their aviation mobile public safety unit, Garcia said. The suspect was also found in possession of 2 cell phones belonging to the victim. Based on our investigation, it appears that because the suspect was wearing a helmet, there might have been another rider with him on the motorcycle. The emerging motive appears to be robbery, Garcia said. This patrolman suspect is addicted to gambling and has marital problems. Due to his gambling addiction, he may have engaged in unsavory transactions outside, he added. The suspect will be charged with robbery with homicide. The Makati City local government announced on Monday, the 1st of April, that it has filed graft charges against 3 Taguig City government employees before the Office of the Ombudsman due to delays in the release of various tax clearance documents. According to the 10-page complaint filed by Makati City, Taguig City employees, identified as Taguig City Treasurer Voltaire Enriquez and City employees Jesse Garcia and Erica Macalectus, allegedly violated the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, grave misconduct, gross neglect of duty, and conduct prejudicial to the best interest of the service. The case stems from the 11-month delay in the release of tax clearance documents by the Taguig City Treasurer's Office for 3 parcels of land purchased by Makati City from the base's Conversion and Development Authority at a cost of 146,503.273 pesos. The Taguig City government has shown on many occasions a contemptuous disregard for the law. Aside from the unjustifiable delay in the release of tax clearance documents, they have harassed our employees and are now facing charges of illegal detention and grave coercion. Their obsession to grab properties owned by Makati seems to have compromised their judgment, public conduct, and sense of decency, Makati City Mayor Abby Binay said. She explained that after completing the transaction and paying taxes due to the national government, it obtained from the Bureau of Internal Revenue the certificate authorizing registration for the transfer certificate of title. However, in order to process the transfer of the title to Makati City, the Register of Deeds for Taguig City required the submission of the tax declarations of the 3 parcels of land, local tax clearances for Taguig City and proof of payment of local transfer taxes. While the tax declaration documents were easily obtained, there was an inordinate delay in securing the tax clearance and assessment for the payment of local transfer taxes. During the series of follow-ups, the respondents only said that the application for tax clearance is still pending with the city treasurer's office but offered no acceptable reason for the delay, the Makati local government unit said. Despite having certified true copies of the tax declarations, we have yet to obtain the tax clearance documents or a tax assessment of possible taxes due to the city of Taguig. We have repeatedly followed up and sent a letter request on the 5th of May, 2023 but the respondents intentionally delayed the procedure, the complaint stated, adding that under Taguig City's Citizens Charter, it should only take the city treasurer's office 3 working days for individuals and 5 working days for corporations. Makati City stressed that failure to process the tax clearance is patently unlawful, neglectful, and unwarranted. It added that the respondents' deliberate and willful inaction on a valid request clearly showed their discrimination and bias against Makati City. The procedure for processing tax clearance is fairly standard and uncomplicated, and does not require an unjustified 11 or more months to process the requests, the complaint read. It also said that the 3 respondents are being charged with violating Section 3F of the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, which states, neglecting or refusing, after due demand or request without sufficient justification, to act within a reasonable time on any matter pending before him for the purpose of obtaining, directly or indirectly, from any person interested in the matter some pecuniary or material benefit or advantage, or for the purpose of favoring his own interest or giving undue advantage in favor of or discriminating against any other interested party. Makati City's complaint also said Taguig City employees are administratively liable for grave misconduct, gross neglect of duty, and conduct prejudicial to the best interest of the service. Their conduct affects not just the city of Taguig but all the persons dealing with their office. Likewise, their improper and imprudent acts will tend to undermine people's faith and confidence in our government. The complaint read: a barangay kagawad was dead in a shooting while his fellow police officer survived after bullets rained down on their SUV in Mamasapano, Maguindanao del Sur past 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Recognized by Mamasapano Town Police Chief Lieutenant Lou Christian Villones is the deceased Kagawad Ansari Solim, 38 years old from Pimborkan, Mamasapano. His companion, Police Staff Sergeant, survived, Mansa Sayanga, from Brajai. The victims drove to Tucanalipao in a Toyota Hilux with plate number NDT5400, but when they arrived at Barangay Mamasapano they were ambushed here. Solim died on the spot while Sergeant was not hit. 5 empty shells of an unspecified type of weapon were found at the crime scene. A retired lawman yielded suspected shabu during a search warrant operation in Batak, Ilocos Norte on the 1st of April. Seized from the suspect by the Ilocos Norte Drug Enforcement Unit and Provincial Intelligence Unit, along with the 102nd Ilocos Norte Provincial Mobile Company, Regional Intelligence Division, and Badak Municipal Police Station, was 15 grams of shabu worth 102,000 pesos in 4 heat-sealed transparent plastic sachets. He also yielded a grenade, open transparent plastic sachet, black and brown shoulder bag, and a dark green wallet. Markings and inventory of recovered items were conducted at the place of operation in the presence of the suspect and other witnesses. He faces drug-related charges and is detained at the Badak police station. A barangay councillor and Sangguniang Kabataan chairman of a northern Cebu town was apprehended inside a motel room in Lapu-Lapu City on Tuesday night, the 2nd of April, 2024. This was after the barangay councillor's wife sought the assistance of the police to arrest her husband and his alleged paramour. Lapu-Lapu City Police Office spokesperson Police Lieutenant Colonel Christian Torres said that the councillor was 35 years old, while the SK chairman was 22 years old. Torres said that after she confirmed the whereabouts of her husband, she immediately sought the assistance of the Gunob police station. The police responded at around 8:30 p.m. in the said motel, wherein they found the two inside a room. However, after they were brought to the police station, the two were then released. What happened was that the concubinage elements would not stick. It was a waste since we forced it because it will just be junked in the fiscal. We could have entered it if we caught them in the act of the conjugal dwelling of the man and his paramour, but most importantly if we could have caught them in the act of sexual intercourse, Torres said. Despite this, Torres said that they would file a case for violation of Republic Act No. 9262 or Violation Against Women and Their Children Act. He was referring to the psychological abuse that the wife experienced due to the alleged affair. He said that the wife would be undergoing a psychological evaluation for this. That's all for this week. I'll see you next week with more stories of corruption and foolishness within the Philippine government.